Skyrim, let's do it. We were doing the main story to the extent that we're able to do the main story. We had recently invaded a camp full of druid people. There's some kind of bad guys. I forget what they're called. Maybe somebody can remind me. We were in the middle of that. I had actually forgot to quick save and lost about 10 minutes of druid murder progress. So we'll see how much of that we can make up here. Skyrim has a story? I also ran into Delphine, my ally, who's supposed to meet me here, because I think I kind of came into the zone from the back. Kill this hag raven. Can you not? Oh, you know what? I should probably use shock on her, huh? Drain her magic. Why aren't you doing the same to me? She has a lot of MP. Holy shit. Excuse me. Damage magicka. Ooh, that actually recovers health. That's nice. Oh, this is a poison that I place on something. Okay, I understand. Do I have something that lets me drain magic? Because that would be great. Do resist frost. I had Lydia with me last time I fought her, and this went much better. Oh, right, that's only a temporary increase. Okay. Heal yourself. God, some people's hags, man. Whoa. I thought that that was an Aduma Fusroda. I was incorrect. Come on, Lydia. Hey, now my allies are here. Way to go, team. Appreciate you guys showing up to steal the kill there. Some people's allies. Alright, let's do Unrelenting Force for now, and let's heal up. I do like the leveling system in this game. It feels like everything you're doing is productive, no matter what you're doing or what order you're doing it in. Cannot use this while in combat. That's right. Oops. So what are the different equipment slots in Skyrim? Because the game's not super clear about that in the equipment UI. There's head, armor, feet. I think gloves are separate. There's obviously one ring. I didn't catch the giant's toe last time. This is kind of cool, this sacrifice over here. Yeah, I'm starting a little early today. I'm trying to, whenever possible, finish streaming on Friday by 4 o'clock Pacific. It's 5 Mountain, so I get more time with everybody. Cat, unfortunately, has to work at 4 a.m. most days, so he ends up going to sleep at like 8. And then we all just go to sleep at the same time. Let's do flames. HTML5 is weird to lag spikes. Forsworn. Who are the Forsworn? I don't remember if I asked this last stream. You cannot sit while in combat. Yeah, I think I've encountered these guys before. Are they like barbarians or something? Last time, Hapax was suggesting that I check out, Lydia, get out of the way of my fire. Conjuration and, like, cast a magic weapon that I can use when I run out of magicka. So let me give that a try really quick. I think it was Conjuration. Bound Sword. Mark it as a favorite. You can put that on there, too. Oh, I don't have enough mana for either. Interesting. There we go. And then I can attack with it. Now, I get the points for summoning the sword, or I get the points for swinging the sword and stuff? It's like that's increasing my one-handed. It's kind of cool that it uses the same stat there. Okay. Let's heal up. The discount Forsworn. Yeah, Final Fantasy 14's been in a bit of a content drought for a while. Lisa and Matt have been playing 14. Quite a bit, actually. Lisa's addicted to crafting. Lisa's my sister-in-law, Matt's her boyfriend. Paranormal Echoes Twitch channel. I think they just fought Titan, so they're 30-something. So maybe when they get up there, we can have more of a static. So. See, I did most of Stormblood streaming offline because trying to get everybody scheduled to play at the same time was a challenge. We'll see if I do that going forward now that we have a consistent stream schedule back. What are the Forsworn? What's their deal? Are they like barbarians, basically? No healing. Only I may do that. Sorry for setting you on fire, buddy. Glad the game is fairly forgiving about attacking your allies in this game. Was really worried about that. I thought maybe I already found out who the Forsworn were, and I just forgot. But do you think the story coming up will explain it? That would be better. Sure. Alright, let's remember to quick save this time.
I think we're getting close. Let's keep moving.
This is where we're going. Karthspire. I still haven't gotten a horse in this game. I know the Skyrim horse is infamous for climbing steep slopes, the Mako in Mass Effect 1. Come on. Come on. It's probably a path that goes straight up this, but no, I gotta climb it the stupid way. I feel like that's a somewhat universal gaming experience. It's one of the things that's really nice about Breath of the Wild. There are no unclimbable surfaces. Oh, is it actually... I thought it was going to be up the mountain. I think it must be like a cave or something inside of it. Morrowind chest armor and greaves are separate. You can wear a robe over all your armor. 4 pieces to a full set of armor. Oh, thanks. No, I appreciate an answer. Okay, that's good to know. I didn't realize that was an entrance. Okay. The horses are Spider-Man. For sure. What's this? Oh, murder. Sorry, Lydia, get out of my way. God. Now, how do I know that that's his flame at your neck, other than just assume that? Someone said it was marked as his in some way, but I just saw flame at your neck at the top. Getting real sneaky there, Lydia. Mouse over it. Ah. Let's see. No, that's clairvoyance. We want. Okay. And then I want to try to do this. It's a little familiar. It's a direwolf. That's cool. Alright, so casting the sword is what skills up conjuration, and swinging with it is one-handed, or does it do both?
These pillars must have something to do with it.
Yes, these are Akaviri symbols. Here, let's see.
It's a
The
puzzle.
symbol for king and warrior.
King,
And of course the symbol for
warrior,
dragonborn. That's the
dragonborn.
one that
What please
appears
talk?
to have a sort of arrow shape pointing downward at the bottom.
Lydia, get out. This one is dragonborn? I'm the dragonborn.
Yes, that's it. The symbol on the middle pillar.
Whatever you did, you worked. Let's see what those old blades
I was like, I'm the dragonborn. That's me. Effort. So you can also this kind of duration. You can also double cast that spell to dual wield. Oh, that's cool. So how does everything have a special effect if you double cast it? Like, I'm guessing you can't double cast clairvoyance or conjure familiar. Triggered traps or something? Oh. Oh, Jehovah. I just walked in the room and ignored the puzzle. Okay. I think I was supposed to walk only on the Dragonborn tiles. J. Damn it. Latin, Jehovah begins with an I. I feel like that's the kind of puzzle where this game would benefit from a slightly higher level of lethality, right? Like if I just died when I walked right in the room, be like, whoa, what happened? But I'm just gonna cheese it by walking through it fast, hitting the switch. Staff of Flames. Ooh. Does that consume mana or something? Can I use that as a spellcaster? Yeah, it's for an eye. Penitent. Penitent. Penitent.
No doubt triggered by, well, blood. Your blood, Dragonborn.
What?
Look
That's
here.
rude.
You see how the ancient blades
Try
revered
using your
me
blood
with
on the
Cyrodiil?
carved seal on the floor.
Well, how do I use my blood? Okay, I just have a dagger sitting around. Gotcha.
It's coming to life.
You can dual cast clairvoyance, doesn't do anything.
After you, Dragon.
Whoa, that's cool. That's pretty neat. Alright. Making progress. Sneaky, sneaky. Now, is there a way to prevent you from just power leveling Conjuration by just casting a sword over and over and putting it away? Because it looks like it did give me points for summoning it. I guess maybe they don't care about that problem. I think Alduin's wall would be indoors. Makes sense, I guess. I was thinking like Great Wall of China, but covered in lore, but I guess it probably wouldn't survive the elements even if it was a magic wall. I'm gonna get behind the wall? Where's my moron allies? They're slow. Hey, speed it up. I really need to get that candlelight spell at some point.
Let's go see if Ezra's right about all this.
Here it is.
I know, what a surprise!
I've never seen a finer example of early Second Era Kaviri sculpture and relief.
This game is super quiet. Hold on, let me try turning it up a hair. Still haven't figured out why that is. In most games I run at like 15 to 20% volume, and this game is quiet even at 50.
Information, not a lecture on artistry.
Yes. Let's see what we have.
Don't betray me, dude. Don't Da Vinci Code me here. Clearly Alduin was a robot. I mean, it looks like Ridley in that picture.
Isn't it amazing?
It is.
Ah, thank you. Excellent. Now, where were we? Here, the humans rebel against the dragon overlord, the legendary dragon.
Oh, that's cool.
Alduin's defeat is the centerpiece of the war. You see, here is falling from the sky the Nord tongues, masters of the voice.
Nord
rage
tongues.
against them.
So does it show how they defeated him?
Oh, there's a wall in the trailer.
The Akaviri were not straightforward people. Everything is couched in allegory, mythic symbolism. Yes, yes. This here, coming from the mouths of the Nord heroes, this is the Akaviri symbol for shout. But
Oh, cool.
there's no way to know what shout is meant.
You mean they used a shout to defeat Alduin? You're sure?
Oh yes, presumably something rather specific. to
Don't see a symbol.
or even Alduin himself.
Must be looking really close.
This is where they recorded all they knew of Alduin.
It's also the problem of you have a lot of games where there's
So we're
a
looking for a
art
shout.
department script writer disconnect. That happens a lot in Mass Effect.
A shout that can knock a dragon out of the sky.
The script will refer to a character in a certain way, and then their model will look totally different.
You're probably right. I was hoping to avoid having to involve them in this, but it seems we have no choice.
We'll involve the Greybeards. What's your problem with them? Yeah, okay, that's my
If
question.
They had their way. You do nothing but sit up on their mountain with them and talk to the sky or whatever it is they do. The Greybeards are so afraid of power that they won't use it.
Seems
Think
rational.
about it. Have they tried to stop the Civil War or done anything about Alduin? No. And they're afraid of you, of your power. Trust me, there is no need to be afraid. Think of Tiber Septim. Do you think he'd have founded the Empire if he'd listened to the Greybeards?
Tiber Septim is a historical character as of this game, right?
Only if you don't know how to use it. All the great heroes have had to learn to use their power. Those that shrank from their destiny. Well, you've never heard of them, have you? And there are the villains, those that misused their power. There's always a choice, and there's always a risk. But if you live in fear of what might go wrong, you'll end up doing nothing. Like the
Dragon.
Greybeards
Oh, I didn't realize Tiber
that
Septim was a dragonborn. Right on.
Right.
Became
Good thing they've
Talos.
already let you into their little cult. Not likely they'd help Esbern or me if we came calling. We'll look around Skyhaven Temple and see what else the old Blades might have left for us. It's a better hideout than I could have.
That's cool.
Talos guard you.
Look here, in the third map.
Yeah, I'm keeping little bits of the lore of the Elder Scrolls universe in my head in between games. So I remembered that Talos was an ascended mortal. But I didn't realize it was Emperor Septim and that he was the Dragonborn. That's really cool. Throat of the World. It's a cool name for a place.
Here are the Akaviri, the Blades. You see their distinctive long swords. Now they need their ancient mission fulfilled as the last Dragonborn contends with Alduin at the end of time.
End of
Are you paying
time.
attention, Delphine? You might learn
Pretty sweet.
something of our own history.
It's cool art too.
Did you need something?
Any advice for fighting dragons?
There is a blessing the blades used on the eve of battle. It's supposed to prepare the mind for slaying dragons. I doubt the blessing's effects would last for very long. So ask whenever you're heading out, and I'll perform the proper rites.
Give me that dragon slaying blessing.
Very good.
So y'all just gonna hang out here by the wall from now on? Is that how this is gonna work? I mean, cool, but... Okay, so this is how these are multiple ways I can take to leave, it looks like. Interesting. Didn't say why the Forsworn were chilling out here, although they wouldn't be down here because they need a Dragonborn blood to get in. It's near to where I came in. Hey, Propagable. Welcome back. Ooh, internet problems. So I've been trying to help Jaden do some critical thinking exercises. I realize that it's difficult to describe to somebody how you go about becoming the kind of person that just Googles problems when you have them. It's not very teachable. So I'm going to try to give him a thought experiment exercise once a day. I have like a chores XP system set up for Jay, because if he's doing chores and that's more time I can spend on stream, give him some, he can cash in his XP for money. I might give him some bonus XP for it. But I bring it up in response to Propagable's comment, because one of the thought experiments I'm going to give him is say, hey, the internet goes out when you're playing an online game, what do you do? Very easy for a lot of people to just give up and be like, well, guess I'm not doing this anymore. But there's like a set of steps you can take, right, to kind of diagnose. Check your phone. Phones still have internet. If it does, there's something wrong with the computer, and so on. If you guys get ideas for cool critical thinking thought experiments, feel free to shoot them my way and I'll pass them on to Jaden. Whoops. Well, I need to go back in and get my blessing anyway, so that's okay. I need to add a gravity button to my sound effects stream deck.
Oh.
Whoops.
You win again, Gravity!
I did not mean to do that. I have one for this guy.
That just raises further questions!
Okay. Oh, he's gone! I can't get the blessing! No! Wait, is he just chilling somewhere? Where is he? We're just gonna chill here for the rest of the game. Gotta go find him now. Give me that dragon blessing. Bet you $10 there's gonna be a dragon hanging out right outside.
May the scales of the dragonkind splinter at the touch of your arrows.
Yeah, the wall's really cool.
Crack under the weight of your sword. That's all there is to it, Dragonborn.
They did.
Luck.
I need to get a spell. I don't know if I can use a torch. Like, how do you go about using non-magical sources of light? It's an interesting one. Yeah. Trying to think if I'm going to hit that game yet. Do I even have torches? I'm not sure that I do, actually. Yeah, I guess I don't know what it would be called. Certainly haven't sold one if I've already found it. Oh, it wants me to go this way. Okay. Fine. Most of the events depicted on the wall are major events from past games. That's cool. Count as apparel? Huh. Next time I schedule Skyrim, I really need to install a UI improvement thing. I know that I have so much crap because of... Yeah, I don't have one. Oh. Alright, well, if I see one on a wall or something, I'll grab it. There's like braziers, but I can't interact with those. Lydia might have one. Can I ask her to carry one?
Still here. All right, what is it? What do you need?
Oh, that's all I can tell her to do is wait there. Okay.
Okay, got it. Still need me to do something?
Yeah.
We heading out? I am at your command.
Oh, she ain't got shit. Now, if I give her a torch, will she use it automatically? How smart is she? Might be in misc items. So much crap. Gotta find merchants to sell it to. Hey! Way to go, D-Piece. I mean, make that a favorite so I don't have to do that again. Now, do favorites show up in this list? They do! Look at that. Saving the day. If you give her equipment, she'll auto-equip the best stuff. Gotcha. Oh, I do? Thank you. Caught that before I went too far away from her.
As you will, my Thane. I will protect you with my life.
Thanks, appreciate that. Okie dokie, hunky dory, let's go. I remember really feeling like I was surprised that torches weren't a thing. It looks like I can swap between them pretty easily in that favorites menu, so it's not so bad. Could be worse. Can I go back to what's his nuts and have him give me that dragon blessing whenever I want? I guess I'm still in a... You're going all the way up here. Thankfully, I've been to High Hrothgar before. Yep. Has anyone but Bethesda made a Elder Scrolls game? I know that Obsidian made New Vegas. So they were willing to share the Fallout franchise, but I guess they didn't. Has Bethesda always owned the Elder Scrolls, or did they acquire it like they did with Fallout? Sullustan Scoundrel. That's awesome, Johan. Remember you telling us about your Sullustan in the pocket-sized droid?
Guide you. Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to?
Alduin's Wall.
The Blades, of course. They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bounds. They have always sought to turn the Dragonborn from the path of wisdom. Have you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the Blades to be used for their own purposes?
I mean, Alduin's been kind of a dick.
What I want is irrelevant. This shout was used once before, was it not? And here we are again. Have you considered that Alduin was not meant to be defeated?
Interesting.
Those who overthrew him in ancient times only postponed
Kicking the
day
can.
of reckoning. They did not stop it. If the world is meant to end, so be it. Let it end and be reborn. No, not now. Not until you return to the path of wisdom.
Parthenax. That's freaky deaky.
Dragonborn, wait. Forgive me, I was intemperate. I allowed my emotions to cloud my judgment. Master Einarth reminded me of my duty.
Did I meet Einarth?
Not to help you is not mine to make. No, I cannot teach it to you, because I do not know it. It is called Dragon Rend,
Dragon
but its
Red.
words of power are unknown to us.
Just after
You do not
Morrowind.
regret this loss. Dragon Rend holds no place within the way of the voice. It was created by those who had lived under the unimaginable cruelty of Alduin's dragon cult. Their whole lives were consumed with hatred for dragons, and they poured all their anger and hatred into this shout. When you learn a shout, you take it into your very being. In a sense,
Okay, so
you
I might
become
sacrifice
the shout.
myself in using it.
In order to learn and use this shout, you will be taking this evil
Or that
into
too.
yourself.
Gotcha.
Only Parthenax, the master of our order, can answer that question, if he so chooses.
Wonder if they serve a dragon. That weird whispering was creepy.
He is our leader. He surpasses us all in his mastery of the way of the voice. You weren't ready. You still aren't ready. But, thanks to the blades, you now have questions that only Parthenax can answer. He lives in seclusion on the very peak of the mountain.
I hope he's a dragon. That would be
Speaks
cool.
to us only rarely, and never to outsiders. Being allowed to see him is a great privilege.
I think he was a dude whispering before.
Only those whose
I guess it could have been
voice
the
is strong
Einar guy.
can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Parthenax.
Okay, making sure you don't run into him. Alduin. Einarth was the one doing the whispering. Gotcha. You mentioned something about his master saying I needed to talk to Parthenax. Parthenax is a super dragony sounding name. Like, Alduin less so. Alduin sounds like it'd be the name of some elf king. But super long. He lives in seclusion on the peak of the mountain. Probably super old. He's probably been running charge of this order for a long time. Presumably he's been alive even when all the dragons have been gone. I'm making all these assumptions. I don't actually know if he's a dragon. Watch me be completely wrong. He's just a dude. Oh, does your torch have a limited usage? That's interesting. The tallest mountain on the continent? Wow, so I'm basically on the Everest. What's the name of the continent? Tamriel is the name of the world, right? He's a royal ugly dude. Right, DPs?
Parthenax lies through this gate. I will show you how to open the way.
Oh, that's cool. So I couldn't just sneak up here. Tamriel is the continent, Nirn is the world. Cool.
Look.
Look. Look, Bakor. Sky, clear skies. I really like the shouts. That's cool. It's very flavorful.
I will grant you my understanding of the skies. This is your final gift from us, Dragonborn. Use it well.
Cool. Neat. Clear away fog and inclement weather. Neat. Oh, but I have to go unlock it. Shit.
Use clear skies.
Oh, he just gave me one to use to unlock it immediately. I understand. Thanks for the dragon souls, bud. Appreciate that. Oh, maybe not. To wait longer for that
Clear
to...
skies will blow away the mist, but only for a time. The path to Parthenax.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's, oh, there it is. Okay.
Perilous, not to be embarked upon lightly. Keep moving, stay focused on your goal, and you will reach the summit.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate that.
Look!
Cool. Guessing they're very careful with restricting your ability to access stuff in this game. But it's kind of cool when they do it. Makes me even more certain that Parthenax is an ancient dragon dude. This is sort of like how, so I think that Force Awakens is probably in, oh, I probably need to shout again now. Force Awakens is in, Statute of Limitations territory for spoilers. So, like, in that movie, they were being really careful. Oh, look at that. Pretty good conveyance. Like, maybe blow this away before you go through. They're super careful with the pronouns they use to refer to Kylo Ren. Or no, when Han and Leia are talking, they keep talking about our son. Like, they never say his name, and it stands out really badly if you're paying attention. Just like, alright, well. This must mean something. Pretty cool conveyance. Alright, peace essence. Poor deer died on the altar of conveyance. Can I, like, do things to make myself warmer? Is that, like, based on the gear I have equipped? Oh. Get my, conjured blade back here. Did I not mark it as a favorite? Bouncer repairs.
Conveyance means show, don't tell.
Mechanic and base Skyrim. Okay.
Yeah! Look!
Sorry, good buddy. Are you about to be sacrificed on the altar of conveyance? Hey, you got an increase just for walking around in a dangerous area with it out. Presumably that's what's happening there. There was a wraith? Where are you at, Wraith Boy? Quick save, real quick. Womp womp. Aren't those piles of rocks, like, when people do them today, considered to be, like, disrespectful? Shouldn't make them because you're disrupting nature or something. Interesting balance of was it accessibility and preservation is what national parks tourism is all about in the US. You gotta make it so people can go to places, but just the fact that you're letting them go means they're going to interfere with it. Throw to the World discovered. That's a really cool name. Hey! Be careful to make sure I don't immediately start attacking him.
Greeting.
He is a dragon.
I am Parthenax. Who are you? you to my Strumach, my mountain.
Appreciate your carefulness to speak common. I wasn't expecting you to be a dragon.
They see me as master, Wuth Onik, old and wise.
Old and wise.
It is true I am old.
It's also super old.
Tell me.
So no one usually gets to ascend the peak of the throat of the... Is the name of the mountain the throat of the world?
You intrude on my
Or is that just the name for the peak?
Drem, patience. There are formalities
Oh,
which
really,
must
sir?
be observed at the first meeting
Super
of
dragon-y.
two of the Dome.
His name's not like Steve or something. Go meet with our leader, Jim. And then I would have been like, whoa, Jim's a dragon!
The elder speaks first. Hear my thum. Feel it in your bones. Match it if you are Dovahkiin. The word calls you. Go to it.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So no one comes up here because they thought all dragons were dead, right? Fire breath. That's cool. It's a pretty sweet name for it. Glad they give you a free dragon soul here, because it would suck if you had to go leave this epic quest. Use the clear skies shout.
Show me what you can do. Greet me not as orc, but as Dova.
Greet me not as orc, but as Dova. Alright. Fire breath. That's so cool.
Yo!
Oh, by greet you mean greet your face? Okay.
Come, Dovahkiin. Ninyol, strike me with the fire of your thum.
Yo!
Yes, Sosedo Vrostmul. The dragon blood runs strong in you. It is long since I had the pleasure of speech.
What's the dragon language called? Is it just called Draconic or something similar? It sounds cool.
So, you have made your way here to me. No easy task for a Jor, mortal. Even for one of Dovahsos, dragon blood. What would you
Can
ask
dragons
of me?
in this universe shape change?
I have expected you, Proda.
Wait, this is weird.
You would not come all this way for Tinvak with an old.
I just
Dova.
explained this to him. Was there... Could I have come here earlier or
You
something? That's
seek
super
your
strange.
weapon
Thanks to the host,
against
Elias.
Alduin.
Dova means dragon. How did you know I came for Dragon Raid? Because I told him. Is this Bethesda bugginess or something?
Yes, they are very protective of me, Bahlan Fadon. But I do not know the Thum you seek. Croesus, it cannot be known to me. Your kind, Jor, mortals, created it as a weapon against the Dove, the dragons. Our Hadrime, our minds, cannot even comprehend its concepts. Drem, all in good.
Could I have met Parthenax sooner in the game and like insisted on meeting him before I went to Alduin's Wall? It sounds like this was split into two conversations for some reason. I like this world.
Yes, Alduin, Zembach, the elder brother, gifted, grasping, and troublesome, as is so often the case with firstborn. But why? Why must you stop Alduin?
Why must you stop Alduin?
Prusa, as good a reason as any. There are many who feel as you do.
Okay, that makes sense,
although
Propagable.
not all.
Yeah, he speaks perfect English.
Some would say
Let me show you this other
all
cool language.
things must end,
Just pepper in
so
some
that the
Italian here and
next
there.
can come to pass. Perhaps this world is simply the egg of the next Kalpa? Lean Vokin? Would you stop the next world from being born?
I mean, that sounds like philosophy. Yeah, okay.
Paz. A fair answer.
The Ichigo jam. Strawberry
Maybe
is
you only
Oishi.
balance the
Delicious.
forces that work to quicken the end of this world.
Oh, I'll have to do that for if we ever do
Even
Weepstead
we
Day.
who ride the
All of
currents
Persona
time
5, right?
Cannot see past time's end. Wulsetid los
Yeah, he's trying to help me out to learn some of it.
Those who try to hasten the end may delay it. Those who work to delay the end.
Yeah, I wonder if I go in and
may
say, what if I
bring
say
it
kawaii?
closer. But you have indulged my weakness for speech.
Don't ever
long
do that
enough.
again, Marstead.
Propagable's always been a warrior defending
Now
against the use of
I
that
will
command.
answer your question.
The fact that the sound effect happens to have that delay in it, is just the way I recorded it, it makes it so much worse.
At the peak of the Monavin, what you name throat of the world.
Because you're a dragon and you don't want people to know. No, dragons like mountains, right?
True, but few now remember that this was the very spot where Alduin was defeated by the ancient tongues.
Tongue is a cool name for a group of people.
Perhaps none but me now remember how he was defeated. Yes.
Not
and
just with the
no.
Dragon shout.
Viknuzny Karon. Alduin was not truly defeated either. If he was, you would not be here today seeking to defeat him. The Nords of those days used the Dragonrend shout to cripple Alduin, but this was not enough. Ok Mulag Unslad. It was the Kell, the
Elder Scroll, they said the thing.
Scroll. They used it to
Oh, what are the Elder
cast
Scrolls?
him
I guess maybe I'm about to find
on the
out.
currents of time.
Hey, he's gonna tell me. Cool. I thought that was just a generic fantasy name.
How to explain in your tongue? The Dove have words for
Dragons.
such things that Jor do
Mortals.
not.
Because I'm learning, because he's helping me out over here.
It is an artifact from outside time.
Outside
It does
time, huh?
not exist, but it has always existed. Rahwalan. They are fragments of creation.
Cool.
The
That's pretty
Kele,
sweet.
Elder Scrolls, as you name them, they have often been used for prophecy.
Have the Elder Scrolls been part of the lore of every
Your
game in the
prophecy
series? Do
comes
they always
from
show
an
up in some way?
Elder Scroll.
It's a mystical bullshit plot device.
But this is only a small
Level up
part
available.
of their power. Zofa Suyek.
They sent him forward in time. That's a really cool
He will be
system.
gone forever. Forever lost.
I love that.
May ye. I
There's all sorts of, like, tropey, cliched ways to bind something and seal it away, but, like, literally sending it into the future that other people have to deal with it. It's pretty cool.
Which is why I have lived here.
Send him back in the past. That's going to be the solution, right?
I have waited.
Warp him back to when they send him to the future, and he'll only be an asshole for a short window in between.
Not when.
Consistent plot device.
Tid Krent. Time was.
Just the giant ball of garbage from
Because of
Futurama.
what the ancient lords did to Alduin. If you brought that Kell, that Elder Scroll, back here to the Tid Ahran...
Time Wound. That's cool.
Wound,
They've got some really sweet proper nouns
with
in
the
Skyrim.
Elder
I would look out
Scroll
for good
that was
ones.
used to break time,
So
you
most
may be able to
proper nouns are good if they
cast
just use
yourself
plain
back to the other end
words
of
in the
break.
language you're playing the game in.
You could learn Dragonrend from those who created it.
Right on. He's like, go find the god artifact that manipulates reality so you can learn this specific use shout power. It's like, I think I'll just use the Elder Scroll.
Croesus, no. I know little of what has passed below in the long years I have lived here. You are likely better informed than I.
Someone look up Parthenax's voice actor.
Trust your instincts, Dovahkiin. Your blood will show you the way.
Now, he didn't tell me why he's alive, did he? I can find that out through other means. I really hope the solution is that we fling him back into the past, where he was first flung into the future. That's such a... it's a clever solution.
Return it here to the Tid Ahran.
Really? That's Super Mario?
Then...
Parthenax is Super Mario, no shit.
Nothing is
It was not who I was thinking.
But I believe the scroll's bond with
It's
the
a me,
Tid Ahran
Parthenax.
will allow you
I am gonna shout.
a seeing, a vision of the
That's some
moment
Nani
of its
material right there.
creation. Then you will feel, know Dragonrend in the power of its first expression. You will see them, Wuthfadon, my friends, Haken, Gormlaith, Feldir.
Can Gormlaith Feldir, who all have less dragony names than him.
The first
Okay, they're mortals,
that
that's
I
why.
taught the
I'm tired.
the first tongues, the leaders of the
Thank you so much for
rebellion
declining my
against
mountain.
Alduin. They were mighty in their day, even to attempt.
Isn't
to
he also the
defeat
voice of
Alduin.
Luigi and Wario? Maybe Waluigi as
The
well, I'm not
Nords
sure.
have had many heroes since, but none greater.
I feel like usually I don't spend a ton of time steeped in lore, but this seems like the most interesting lore, most important lore in the whole game. So let's find out everything we can.
Vormendok, I do not know.
Yeah, I like that, Leon.
In the very
I invent
doom,
Dragonrend,
they
teach it to them, and then
erased
learn
the
it from
knowing
them.
of it.
I like closed time loops.
Itself.
That's the only way that time travel makes sense.
The Dove are children of Akatosh. Thus, we are specially attuned to the flow of time. Perhaps also uniquely vulnerable. I warned them against
Closed time
such
loops.
a rash action.
There's a couple of movies that
Even
do it.
I could not foresee its consequences.
I actually think that Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure has one of the most rational time travel systems. Dragon Ball Z does many worlds, so whenever you time travel, you create an offshoot timeline. I think that's more or less consistent. They mostly use it in Bill and Ted just because they're lazy, but it makes sense.
Yes, there were a few of us that rebelled against
That's cool.
Alduin's Thur, his tyranny. We aided the humans in his overthrow. But they did not trust us, ni Ov. Their inner councils were kept hidden from us. Excellent!
The only thing about Bill and Ted that's a little goofy is that there's like a present timeline that's always marching forward. Which I guess makes sense to prevent the paradox problem of what happens if you travel 1 second into the future. Like, at what point can you return and be yourself again? The Chrono Trigger's 3-person party limits a fundamental law of the universe, right?
I cannot tell you in
I did watch
detail.
Steins Gate.
I never heard it used. Kogan.
I really
It was the
liked it
first Thum
up until
created
the last
solely
episode, and
by
I didn't like the way they resolved it. I thought it was dumb. But everything else was super
It was
cool. It has one of my
said to
favorite
force a dragon
time travel
to
concepts with
experience the
information traveling
concept
instead of individuals traveling.
mortality.
And it had one of the best turns I've ever seen in a show, where it seems like this kind of stupid, goofy
Incomprehensible idea
harem
to the
anime for 10
immortal
episodes, and then
Dove.
it's really good for like 2 episodes. Like some of the best TV I've ever seen. And then it slowly gets weaker and weaker and piddles out. But that point where you had the narrative uncertainty in Steins Gate around episode 11 or something, where you have this big reveal and you're like, oh man, they could go anywhere with this. It's one of the best I've seen in time travel fiction.
I have taught the way of the voice
Yeah, the turn's
for
great.
centuries, and the Thum
Rufus!
since long before that.
Interesting factoid about Bill and Ted. Rufus never tells anyone their name. The only reason we know George Carlin's name is Rufus is because Bill and
You are
Ted tell
the first
themselves.
in over 100 years.
Closed loop.
I meditate on the Rotmulag, the words of power. I counsel in their
I haven't seen it in a while.
It
I
is
remember
enough
being
for
disappointed.
me. Knowing a word of power.
I have to read a
is
plot
to
summary and
take
then get
its
back to you.
meaning into yourself. Contemplate the meaning of a Rotmulag. You will become closer to that word as it fills your inner self. Will I teach you, Dovahkiin? What word calls you to deeper understanding? There are 3 to master.
I already know Fus.
Fime, and
Slowed up has taken all day in game. I already know Fus. Y'all is fire, right? What's up, y'all? Do I know Fime? I know these two, so we'll try Fime.
Fade in your tongue. Mortals have greater affinity for this word than the Dove.
Interesting.
Everything mortal fades away in time, but the spirit remains. Ponder the meaning of spirit.
Good. The harem stuff is pretty weak.
Sea, where mortal flesh may wither and die, the spirit endures. That is fine. Let that meaning fill you. Sum Ark Mora. You will find that your spirit will give you more strength. Which calls to you, Dovahkiin? Fus, Fime, or Yol?
Let's do all of them. It'll be fun.
It is called force in your tongue. But as you push the world, so does the world push back. Think of the way force may be applied effortlessly. Imagine but a whisper pushing aside all in its path. That is Fus. Let its meaning fill you. Sum Ark Mora.
That's cool.
You will push the world harder than it pushes back. Which calls
me get that
to you,
Yol lore.
Dovahkiin? Fus, Fime, or
The
Yol?
trouble with harems, I find, is that like if you're gonna have that many female characters, you actually end up probably developing a nice diverse cast of them. And they don't fulfill stereotypical roles, although they often, have their own versions of stereotypes, like having the Sundara character and so on. But it's still fundamentally, it's pretty problematic.
In
I don't know if
your
it's worth the
tongue,
trade in most
the word
cases.
simply means fire. It is change given form. Power.
Fire
at
is
its
change
most
given.
primal.
It's clever.
That is the true meaning
Power.
of Yol. Solyek, power. You have it, as do all Dove. But power is inert without action and choice. Think of this as the fire builds in your sum, in your breath.
What will you burn?
Sum
What will you
Ark
spare?
Mora.
Interesting.
What will
So
you
this is the
burn?
true meaning of Yol.
What will you spare?
Thanks, Super Parthenax. Bye-bye.
Drem Yolok, greetings. Sum Ark Mora.
I would not have guessed Super Mario. I've got like a stable of voice actors that I think about for super deep voices like that, and Charles Martinet is not one of them. Wow. Yeah, that's cool, Chaos. No, I hear that. Like, Death Note is one of my favorite. Oh, that's interesting. Notched pickaxe all the way up here. Right on. That's cool. Am I just continuing to mine so long as I'm standing here? How does this work? Death Note's one of my favorite, like, fictional stories of all time, and it's anime. Oh, it's supposed to be a Minecraft reference? Interesting. Is there like an item description? Or was the pickaxe just destroyed? I can't see it now. There it is. Raises the wielder's smithing abilities and does 6 shock damage to enemies on hit. Holy shit! Once raise smithing abilities. I really need a way to like categorize my loot, especially to like highlight magic items. I guess I could favorite all of them or something, but I'm gonna die falling down this slope. I've had the vision of the Monado. Quick save. Oh my god. That feels so shitty. The game like feels like you're falling a random distance. Oh yeah, Bethesda was suing Mojang because of the scrolls thing, right? I'm like, yeah, that's stupid. Favorite all the items you use. Yeah, makes sense. I'm guessing all the devs at Bethesda thought that was stupid. Talk to Esper. Hey man, I talked to a dragon. I bet you'd be super nerdy stoked about that. Hey Lydia. What's your deal? That was a super cool sequence. I like talking to Parthenax and everything. Big fan. Go explore. Let me go ahead and level up. All in. I'm gonna pay for it later. I need 40 for the next upgrade. Yeah, 40. Most destruction spells stagger an opponent when dual cast. Heck yes. Ebony ore is a high-end crafting material. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, do I have to buy the one on the bottom first or something? Okay. I think I'm going to get another level up before I get another perk. There's regeneration perk. 50% more. Oh yeah, we totally want that one too. Do I have other restoration spells? Just curious. No, just heal. Running. This is the most efficient way to get back to Esberth, right? I can't warp right to Alduin's wall, presumably. Skyhaven tip. Yo. What up, Parn? Yo, Sandberg. What's cracking? Third or second best medal in the game. Right on. This food, man. Presumably they brought that here and set this up. Dragon Vein? Is that a katana? That's cool. Do anything special? Mace etiquette. Huh. Right on. Whoa. Moonstones. Scroll of Guardian Circle. So scrolls don't teach you spells, right? They're like a consumable spell. Books are what teach you spells. Let me find if I can find that sword. Dragon Bane. Ooh, neat. Scrolls are consumables. Man, they have settled down. Set up in here. Jeez. I need lots of salt. Salt. Lots of salt. Yeah. That's what I thought. Oh, excuse me. Salt is salt. Hey, dude.
I used to dream of it. In the dream I was standing someplace high up, a tower or a mountain. It was always just before dawn. The whole world was in darkness. Then came the flash of light, just on the horizon, within the clouds.
Oh, that's a...
marked the border between
It's a pretty view. I'm sitting over here not paying attention. Just like, looking at this guy.
the dream.
What are you gonna show?
A sense of foreboding grew, but I could never wake up.
This is the essence of
Then
Skyrim.
it
Do you
came
see that in the
again,
distance?
this
You can
time
go
more
there.
distinct.
Is that the throat of the world that I'm looking at? No, it's something else. It must be behind me. Pretty tall.
Definitely not lightning. Now it was orange, brilliant orange, the color of hearth and dawn, and a sound too.
It is very pretty, I agree.
Indistinct, not thunder, something else, something.
I prefer Breath of the Wild's model, but it's also more video gamey. Like, I think that
I want to leave my high place.
Skyrim aims to make a realistic landscape.
I don't yet know. In the manner of dreams, I cannot escape.
Might not be able to actually go there. It's one of the few counterexamples.
Finally, realization and horror arrive together.
Also, you'd say that Breath of the Wild owes something to Skyrim.
Heat, the sound, the roar, a challenge in ancient time. But now it's too late for escape. The dragon is upon us, fire and darkness descending like a thunderbolt. And not just any
Oh, they're
dragon.
edge of map mountains. Is Skyrim completely surrounded by mountains?
World eater, the dragon who devours both the living and the dead. And then I would wake up and hope that it was just a dream, but know that it was not. Ah, you're back.
I am! Hey, what's up?
I'm tracking down this shout we need to defeat Alduin.
Yes.
Ah, indeed. There's a pretty puzzle. Not the kind of thing you will find in your local bookshop. Let me think.
Perhaps the College of Winterhold. What
Sure,
are
but I
their
think that among
issues?
friends we shouldn't have to couch all of our opinions with, this is just my opinion, but, right?
May be able to put
If you say,
on
I think that
experience.
Breath of the Wild looks better than Skyrim, it's kind of implied that that's your opinion, right? Hammer falls to the east. There's some gaps where they have invisible or visible walls. Are there few invisible walls? Breath of the Wild did that pretty well, but it kind of had this giant chasm surrounding most of the game world.
Do you know the College of Winterhold?
College of
I have a deep
Winterhold.
interest in such arcana.
Oh, cool. Go learn magic.
Haven't you been paying attention to anything I've said? Only you can finally defeat
Yeah, I
them
hear you, Chaos.
and avert the end of the world. If we can just find out what
I should
this
make a
dragon
sound
named
effect
Shaft
from
is,
Big Lebowski. That's
you
just
may
like
have a chance.
your opinion,
Or
man.
not. There's no
That would get
guarantee.
multiple usage on this channel. Let me make a
Really
note for that.
hope. Goodbye.
Later, dude. Super helpful. Okay. Winterhold. It was in fact super helpful. I wasn't being facetious. Directions are an illusion. Gotcha. They don't really incentivize you to go to the edge of the map either. It's interesting because they totally do in Breath of the Wild. So I know of a college in this game because I've heard the memes about becoming the Archmage and having a guard still talk to you like you're a moron. Have you heard of magic? Have you heard of the High Elves? Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. There's a pretty funny gif on Reddit recently of somebody finding a hawk's nest and crouching on it, and it, like, picks you up. It blew my mind that the thing even had physics. I assumed that the hawks and birds were just going to be, like, non-interactable elements of the skybox. GIFs in the skybox. Yeah, right. It's gamey versus simulation immersive. Ancient Traveler's Skull. It's a very specific name. Amulet of Arche. I'm gonna loot this body. I can't complain every time I do this. This is my fault. I created this situation. Oh, increases health by 10. Cool. I don't think I already had an Ami equipped, but it's hard to tell because of the equipment slots aren't really made public. I'd like to have a traditional like loadout page and be able to select from only those things. I'm sure that one of those UI mods folks are talking about provides that functionality. Yeah, how much is the Switch version? I assumed it was only be like $20. Is it 60? Good God, Bethesda. I could see buying this for Switch once I beat it, just to have something to toss on when I'm on a plane or something. Guild of Dungeoneering, is that what you were adding? Can you shoot me a DM about that on Discord? I'll grab it. Come on, dude. Ma'am, you can make this. Oh, it's poorly ported. Really? That's a bummer. What's wrong with it? That makes it even worse if they're charging full price for it, huh? I'm super dead. So could a horse climb this? They met a bunch of spiders. Come on. Mashing jump. Looks like we're making slight progress. Okay. Really makes you appreciate the climbing feature in Breath of the Wild, but that has to have took many, many hours of testing. Just think about all the things that could break in a game by letting you climb virtually any surface. It has to have been a nightmare, and problems arising owing to climbing basically never happened in that game. Maybe once or twice. I thought I saw a dragon around the corner there. No! This is the one and only route. Actually, I might be needing to go down from here anyway. Yeah. Did the thing I set out to do. Go ahead and go down now. Try not to slip down the slope and die. Gotta face walk up cliffs. Yeah. I feel like that's a universal. It's because of the navigation system, really, at the end of the day. Because it's focused on just pointing you a cardinal direction. You're more likely to want to try to take the straight line, even if it doesn't make sense. I guess that's where you can use clairvoyance. Hello. Wow, that hurt. That should be healing for more.
Yo!
Poor cat. Yeah, it's clairvoyance. Which I think I can use in the outside world. Just does like a... Assumed it was kind of buggy. It just has to do some kind of basic pathing script, would be my guess. Alright, so we want flames and bounce sword. Can't move so fast when I have this out. I guess that's the downside. I have to spend the time and mana casting it when I'm actually in danger. Save, so I don't have to fight those guys again or face walk up that cliff again. The engine's held together by bubblegum, tape, paper clips, and prayer. Yeah, it definitely feels like that. I'm surprised that the face models look so good in this. They kind of look like garbage in Morrowind, or not Morrowind, Oblivion. Having not actually played Oblivion, but watched some people play a little bit of it. Character models are pretty bad looking. The game itself is very pretty. Clairvoyance is your cop-out spell when you're trying to RP. Like as in you'll take it even if your character is not supposed to have any magic. Oh, that's cool looking. Winterhold, presumably. I'm sure this is the way most people come into town. It's impossible to make an Oblivion character that looks good. Maybe I'll play, when we get to Oblivion as an awesome game, I'll play with mods and dress up as Sonic the Hedgehog or something.
Don't just walk away from me. Where do you think you're going?
To the inn for a drink, of course. Where else could I even go with this nonsense?
And what? You think that'll solve all your problems?
Problem.
Now, once I am hidden at the beginning of a lockpick attempt, I remain hidden for its duration, right? Same with pickpocketing. If I was hidden when I first interacted with it.
I'll sell just about anything if it's worth my time. Keep that in mind, will you?
I just broke into your house and you're okay with that? Probably shouldn't be. Lockpicking pauses time. Come to a consensus of unintrusive but essential mods. Yeah, I could do that. Have people vote on some. If enough people vote for it, I can take it.
Lead on.
Wait, where'd the lady go? Whose house I just broke into? Oh, she went down to her shop. Okay.
I do what's necessary.
Yeah, I
so we
don't
can
believe
get by.
in
Have
encumbrance
to,
limits.
Since I can't count
I think
on
it's
my
bad
brother
game
for
design.
anything.
I understand why they do it, but it doesn't create
If you're
interesting
looking for
gameplay
Randy,
dynamic with
he's
the way
either
that loot
passed out
works.
in bed or working on winding up that way. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
What have you got for sale? She has enough gold that I can maybe sell some crap. Increases heavy armor by 15 points. Soul gems, magic potions. Take your lockpicks. Okay. And let me try to sell some of my junk here. Interesting. She only buys... See, she filters out the stuff that's good. Oh, wait, no. That's her filter. Okay, I understand. Gotcha. Getting speech upgrades for doing this. Oops, I didn't mean to sell that. Well, I think I'd rather have the Dragon Vein. Yeah, there are ways to do an encumbrance limit or an item limit. I don't mind Diablo's approach. I don't mind Resident Evil 4's approach. I don't mind Breath of the Wild. Encumbrance isn't fundamentally a bad system. It's just bad in Skyrim's interpretation, in my opinion, because it functions only as a convenience limiter, right? You're not making live player decisions. You're not saying, which of these two weapons do I want to take, because one of them is gone forever. You're just, oh, well, I guess my character will walk super slow, and if I'm willing to be patient, I can just spend an hour getting to town and selling and depositing all this stuff. And the stuff never goes anywhere, right? Whereas if you choose not to take an item in Breath of the Wild, it's gone forever, so you're actually having to make a choice.
The bridge at your own
I also hate encumbrance in tabletop. I don't bother tracking it.
You shall not gain entry.
Alright, let me in. When I am a dungeon master, I'll track encumbrance when it's reasonable to do so. So someone's like, I dual wield couches. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense, but keeping a number on your character sheet is a massive waste of time.
I am here to assist those seeking the wisdom of the college. And if, in the process, my presence helps to deter...
They're too lenient. Yeah. The weight limit should be even lower and should disappear. Exactly, Six Gun.
Why are you here?
If it was an extremely low weight limit or a slot-based limit or something, and stuff just disappeared if you couldn't take it. But then they have a loot spam problem in Skyrim that's also in, like, Pillars of Eternity, where there's just so much junk that it's... And there's very little way in terms of UI assist to help you piece together the junk from the good stuff, you know? It's just a white item like everything else. That this thing gives you plus 20 damage against dragons. Like, this is a wheel of cheese.
Oh, forgive me. Most who arrive here do so because they have heard of the college beforehand. This is the College of Winterhold, a safe haven for mages in Skyrim, a place of wisdom and arcane knowledge.
Man, make a character that can dual wield couches. I would run that game for you, Chaos. We'll make a universe where that's possible.
Perhaps. But what is it you expect to find within?
There's Sophomancer. Seek knowledge of the Elder Scrolls.
Do you?
Everybody seeks
there
that.
Are some here who have spent years studying the accumulated knowledge of the scrolls.
Yeah, I would be down with that. Convert useless items to money. That way, because the purpose of the useless items is flavor, right? They want to like put, oh, there's goblets and plates and there's fruit on them, and when I come back to check on the guy at the Dragon Wall, now the place is lived in. That's a cool effect, but like actually letting you loot all of it is kind of pointless. I think we both know I'll succeed here.
No, I'm afraid I don't know anything of the sort.
I tried. Take your test.
Excellent. The Flame Atronach is a vital companion for anyone relying on conjuration. Summoning one here would certainly show you.
Yeah, it's weird though, like balancing fighter by making them more convenient, like robbing other characters of convenience. It's up to the DM. It's up to the campaign. Like I'm sure that there's a campaign out there that encumbrance is used and it's interesting, but it's like tracking non-magical ammunition. Like if you're playing a game where you only have 5 arrows and like you got every arrow has to count, that's interesting. But if you can trivially go to a store and buy 180 of them, then who cares?
I look forward to it.
First lessons. Okay. Save. Oh, interesting. I don't think I have yet. So I need to go find shops that sell spells, of which there are several that I haven't visited yet, right? Yeah, the game could do something like highlight junk loot like wooden forks in gray, you know, but it doesn't. But that's the other thing, is like, if there's no need to loot it because it's worthless, then why is it even lootable in the first place, right? It's not good design. She teach it to me? I assumed that meant she wouldn't let me through Game Saucer. That's why I didn't say it.
What is it?
The college is an asset to Skyrim. No? Well, if you think you're capable of it, then I'd be happy to provide it to you.
No,
for
it's
mere
nice and
30
cheap.
Gold.
Sure.
Or you can try your
Is this
luck
game
with one of the
consistent with
focus
gold
zones around
costs?
Skyrim.
Played a
They
lot of
also
games where
sell
they don't really
spells.
keep track of their currency very well. Not everyone can be Patrick Rothfuss and spend like 80% of their story talking about currency.
Here you are. Now I'm anxious to see you cast it.
No problem, lady. Be my pleasure.
No matter what, the college will
You happy?
Well done indeed. I think you'll be a superb
All ends cost the
addition
same
to the
everywhere.
college.
That's cool.
Welcome, apprentice. I'll lead you across the bridge.
Buying and selling
Once
increases
you're
your
inside,
speech skills, so
you'll
you
want to
take all the
secure
forks in a
that
building,
weapon. Our master-
slowly walk to town, slowly sell all of it, go back and get the rest of the forks you could carry. Grind out your speech. Can you sell stuff when people are out of gold? Do they just take it from you for free? Because I could like do a dump to try to level up my speech and get rid of it. I'm not too worried about the gold. Oh no, it makes perfect sense, but like, there's a lot of things that we don't track in video games, even though they make sense. Like, I haven't played too many video games where your character has to go to the bathroom regularly, right? You can't sell stuff if they don't have the gold? Okay, gotcha. Reality's already broken. I'm okay with them not having infinite gold. I understand that making any sort of change is a slippery slope, so I'm going to try to keep it to just the one. I'm trying to...
I believe I've made
keep
myself
from
rather
devolving to
clear.
pure nihilism.
Yes, of course. I'm simply
Quick
trying
travel
to
to every
understand the
vendor.
reasoning behind the decision.
You may be used to the
Do they get their money back
empire
over
of
time,
your
too?
but I'm afraid you'll find that Thalmor
Gotcha.
received no such treatment.
I could have shouted at her to pass, that would be
You are a
cool.
guest
You don't know magic.
here at
Oh
the
yeah?
altar of the Archmage. I hope
You knock her down? Like, what shout could you use without killing her, pissing her off?
Yes, of course. The Archmage has my thanks.
Very good. Then we're done here. Welcome to the college. Another new student. I'm surprised at how many of you there are lately. Well, first you'll need these. While you're not required to wear them, you may
So,
find
can
them
you
more
talk to a
relevant
merchant,
than your
deplete their gold, and then wait next to them
I'll
for
give you
48
a brief
hours,
tour,
and then deplete their
we'll
gold
get you to
again?
First class. Are you ready to begin?
And use it on her. Let's see.
Wonderful. Please follow me and don't wander off.
It's McGonagall.
The College of Winterhold has been a fixture in Skyrim.
You
for
can?
thousands
Is
of
there
years.
any reason not to do
The
that?
prominent feature here is the Hall of the Elements. It's our primary location for lectures, practice sessions, and general meetings.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Propagable's got it. Yes, they're choices, but they're boring choices. It's not... and it's not even really a choice. Like, I can... The stuff stays there if I don't take it, right? So if I wanted to, with encumbrance off, I could loot a building, be super heavy, slowly walk to town, sell all of it, come back and get the stuff that I left behind, and just do that over and over. It's just a time sink. It doesn't actually result in any gameplay decisions. I'm not tossing my fire sword for a lightning sword, because I think I'm going to need it. I wanted to check out the gear she just gave me. Push Rodar off the bridge. Whoops, sorry. Ooh, I think I want that since I use destruction so much.
The Arcanium is located above the hall, and the Archmage...
Oh, I'm not saying that this is objectively true. It's my personal preference as a gamer.
The Archmage's
I bet there are people that are super immersed by the encumbrance system and they really like ignoring most of the stuff they run into, and they would never even consider gamifying it by looting a building and then slowly walking to town to sell everything, right? Because that would be out of character. A real person wouldn't do that. But I approach most video games trying to gamify it as much as possible. To my detriment in many cases, right? It breaks my immersion to look for a system for everything. That's why I'm attracted to Breath of the Wild that gives me a cookie for climbing a mountain, whereas Skyrim says, hey, you climb the mountain. Isn't that reward enough in itself, you know?
You look a bit peaked. You sure you shouldn't be home in bed?
It's not just wooden forks, though, either. It's like, let me look at my weapons list here, right? Look at all this shit. Of all this crap, there's a couple things that randomly have special effects, like Notched Pickaxe, Lunar Steel Mace. And there's very little when these are lying around in the game world, like this pickaxe does not look special. This mace doesn't really look special. They don't really stand out when they're lying around on a desk. So it's only by me looting every single thing that I've been like, oh shit, that's actually important. And like taking the time to stop at every item in the game and inspect it and be like, does that have a different name from all the other crap that's lying around, is a pretty big input tax on the player if you're looking to optimize your time while playing it. Yeah, but finding out that it has a special name, like, right, if I want to see, is there something important on this table? Is this a bottle of wine or is it a fancy potion that increases my conjuration or my enchanting? Involves carefully scanning each and every table and bookshelf in the game. Whereas if I don't have encumbrance on, I just run top, 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 top. It tells me all their names, and I'm like, okay, one of those looks special. Going all right? How you doing, Ludifex? Good to see you.
They say knowledge is its own reward.
It is.
You are now in the Arcanium, of which I am in charge. It might as well be my own little plane of oblivion. Disrupt my Arcanium,
it's cool as
and I will
work
have you
running this
torn
place.
apart by angry Atronachs. Now, do you require assistance?
Take your work very seriously. You just jump to looking for an Elder Scroll.
Please make sure your hands are clean before touching anything, all right?
Sure. Huh. So do I have any way of knowing if any of these books are important, e.g. the award skill points? Probably not. I'm guessing none of them do. This is just for flavor that he sells them.
And what do you plan to do with it? Do you even know what you're...
No, I'm happy about that, Rob Gable. They're going against type. Right.
Girl?
Good job, Skyrim.
I knew it. Everyone comes in here expecting my help, but they don't even have the proper
variable based on your universe, right? Like, in Tolkien's universe, orcs are fundamentally evil and can't control their actions.
A person must have
the lusty Argonian maid is super important.
Or else risk madness. Even so, the Divines usually take the reader's sight as a price.
Canonically the most important book of the age.
The simplest way to put it is knowledge, but there's nothing simple about an Elder Scroll.
So, is there like a canonical list of the different Elder Scrolls? Do they all have names and different functions?
Paths. Each reader sees different reflections through different lenses, and may come away with...
Or is the Elder Scrolls a single artifact?
But at the same time, all of it is true. Even the falsehoods. Especially the falsehoods.
Watch the ultimate wooden fork be buried somewhere. Do you have one I could use?
It would take a month to explain to you how that very question doesn't even make sense. The scrolls exist
it's a cool answer.
With us, but also beyond.
Every word of what you just said was
before
wrong.
And after. They are bits of divine-made substance, so we could know them. Sorry, talking about the scrolls, you usually end up in
self-aware.
Vague metaphors
Toothpick
like
of annihilation.
Some people who study them devoutly go mad.
During the events of Oblivion, there were 273 Elder Scrolls in the Elder Scrolls library.
Ah. You think that even if I did have one here, I would let you see it? It would be kept under the highest security. The greatest thief in the world wouldn't be able to lay a finger on it.
I was gonna say.
What about? Wait. Were you the one the Greybeards were calling?
That's me.
I'll bring everything we have on them. But it's not much.
Oh, wow, he really
So
believed me
don't get
quickly
your
there.
hopes up. It's mostly lies, leavened with rumor and conjecture.
It's a cool way of saying that.
As a matter of fact, there are. Have you ever heard of Shalador?
Shalador. No, I'm not going to
Immensely
remember that at all.
powerful mage, back in the First Era. Had an understanding of
10
magic
named scrolls.
few have ever
Cool.
matched. He holed himself up in Labyrinthian and devoted all his time to research and study, but more than you would imagine possible. Since then, his writings have been scattered all over Skyrim, but are little use to anyone who can't translate them. I'm one of the few who can. I've heard whispers of more of his work having turned up. If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us.
Shalador's Insights.
All right, then.
Shalador. A few good movies and a bunch of crappy ones, then a good one again. Did you see Split? I thought Split was pretty good. It had a... M. Night Shyamalan has this really bad tell don't show problem. I love Split, but there's like a scene where... I don't think this is a spoiler. But this character is running around, like makes this noise, and one of the cops is like, "Did you hear that? That sounds like it has to have been an animal sound. Only animals sound like that." It's like, oh my god, dude, like, don't have to, some kind of beast.
I don't want
Shut
to
up.
see you treating any of these books poorly.
Thought you were gonna go take me to the thing.
And what do you plan to do with it? Do you even know what you're asking about?
Just got up and walked
Or are you
around and
just
then went back and
someone's
sat down.
errand
Is this
girl?
Bethesda?
You need a book? You talk to me. And what do you plan to do with it? Do you even know what you're asking about? Or are you
Yeah,
just
I like
someone's
Split.
errand girl?
I can't say what the movie is because it's a massive spoiler, but
You think that even if it would be kept under the highest security, the greatest... What about? I'll bring every... So don't get your hopes up. It's mostly lies,
Okay.
leavened with rumor and conjecture.
let's do it this time,
Fight well.
please.
Here you go. Try not to
Okay,
spill anything
thank you.
on them.
Ruminations on the Elder Scrolls. This one I should probably read. Imagine living beneath the waves of the strong-sided blessing. Most excellent fabric. Holding the fabric over your gills, you would begin to breathe, drink its warp, and weft. Plant matter, fibers, imbue your soul. Wretched plankton would pollute the cloth, though it stank to heavens of prophecy. This is one manner in which the scrolls first came to pass. Interesting. That's very maddening metaphor. Effects of the Elder Scrolls. Oh man, look at that special eye. Yeah, I agree, Chaos. It's definitely an origin movie. Yeah, you perceive that exactly, sir. Polonius. Justinius plagues. Oh, ailments afflicted by the Elder Scrolls on their readers. Interesting. 4 effects. Does it say the nails? Prophecy or knowledge to be obtained. The scrolls are not important in form or will affect any adverse faction. Could be awash in odd letterings and symbols. Interesting. Unguarded intellects. As the greatest danger from attempting to read the scrolls are subjects to... Oh, these are different kinds of people reading it. Okay, I understand now. Only the cult of the ancestor moth has discovered the discipline to properly guard one's mind when reading the scrolls. The most rigorous mental cultivation. Spent a decade at the monastery. That shit's crazy too. The monks of the ancestor moth. That's so awesomely specific. Okay. Right on.
I don't care if you wrote it yourself. If you want a book from here, you go through me.
Hold on here. Elder knowledge. I got.
The Arcanium is always accepting new volumes. I'll take what I can
This
get.
ruminations book is incomprehensible. Okay, good.
Aye, that's the work of Septimus Cygnus. He's the world's master of the nature of Elder Scrolls, but, well...
So what is Septimus as
a long while.
title?
Too long. Somewhere up north, in the ice fields. He said he found some old Dwemer artifact.
Dwemer are the dwarves, right?
Years
that have been gone since the first game.
Haven't heard from him since.
Fine, Septimus Cygnus. Okay. Are there any shops here that sell spells? Because I would love to get my hands on a bunch of them. Septimus is just a name. Okay, I thought it was a title. A little well of magic. Hi, Rabbit. How you doing? Wait, is that door opening into nothing? Are these magic rooms? Oh, never mind. A few people who sell spells. Okay. I'll see what I can find then. Alchemy lab. Get rid of some of my junk. I'm guessing the things that are near alchemy tables are kind of a clue as to things you can combine. It's a neat way to do that in universe, right?
Restoration is a perfectly valid school of magic, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Who would tell me otherwise? Healing's not real magic.
Why are my research materials constantly disappearing?
They weren't marked as steel. That's your problem.
You consider restoration a valid school of magic, worthy of study, don't you? Don't you?
Sure do.
Good. Good. Not that I require validation, of course. There are just some, and I shan't name names, who would disagree.
Smug intellectuals who told
life
restoration.
difficult when one's colleagues fail to recognize the research one engages in. Spells and incantations for those with a talent to cast them.
She sounds really bored. Spell tomes. Here we go. Fast healing. I already have healing. Healing hands. That heals other people, basically. It's armor by 40, 60. Turn undead. Staff of courage. Huh. You sell crap again. Oh, she'll only buy certain kinds of things, it looks like. It's like, it's side some boots to stack because they look different, right? Tunic. Really want to, enchant one of these circlets at some point, so I'm gonna hold on to them. Hold on to a necklace and a gold ring. Now there's no, like, you don't get any value from enchanting a gold ring versus a silver ring, right? Enchanting just imparts a mechanic onto it. It doesn't get better with better materials. Presumably. $17. She doesn't want the other weapons. Fine. 5 books, which I don't think I need any of them. Now, some of them might be quests. Even the quest ones aren't really called out. Play it safe. Okie dokie. Oh god. It's my fault. Frost enchantments are stronger. If you read a quest book, you don't need it ever. So I can sell her all my books safely. Pretty sure I've already gotten all the perk or the skill points out of
I'll
them.
gladly share my knowledge with you.
Oh, that's cool. You can just pay to raise your level. I won't keep doing it. Oh, you have a maximum number of times you can do it per level. I understand. Gotcha. And you have to go back in the space of that level, presumably? Because, like, I just got a level up by doing that. So I should get another 5 for free, basically. Okay. Destruction still isn't high enough, so I can afford to spend another perk in Restoration. I think I want the half Magica one.
Once again, I'll gladly share my knowledge.
And there are multiple skill trainers for every skill in the game? Yeah, I can just do it again. Huh. Guess it'll bankrupt me, but... Right on.
So, you wish to master the arcane arts?
Oh, whoops.
Spells and incantations for those with a talent.
Should use these before I try to... Okay, clairvoyance is fine. I want fast healing back. Healing hands. I got very little money for doing that. Whoops. It's okay.
Until next.
Oh, and different trainers are of different levels. Okay, I understand. That makes sense.
Time. Just because I don't fit in. Spells and incantations for those with a talent to cast them.
All gone.
Until next time.
Right, because you can use them to train your skills. I assume most merchants didn't matter too much, but... Even then, though, like, it's the same problem, right, Propagable, that if I had the patience and the time to do it, I could easily just teleport between every dungeon or slowly walk back to town to sell everything. The only thing stopping me from doing that would be the sheer inconvenience. So I think it's a more fundamental problem with the construction of the game. Try making new stuff, I guess. Damage stamina, nice. And the way that there's lots of things that are lootable that should maybe just be inspectable, right? If it's never worthwhile to ever pick up a wooden fork, then you should never be able to loot a wooden fork. You should just be able to inspect it. And it says, hey, here's some lore about this wooden fork. Check it out. That's pretty neat. Let's just make some of these guys then. I can see doing fortified barter next time I go to sell stuff, right? Definitely want Fortify Enchanting. Need other ingredients, though. Cool. Thank you.
Restoration is a perfectly valid school of magic, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Enchantment. Disenchant, yes. It's cool. I think I currently have the novice robes equipped, right? So I gotta be careful. But notched pickaxe is just a skill you can put on stuff. It's cool. If I were to enchant something, it would be a circlet or something similar. Go. Magic of region. Greater soul gem. And I guess I can rename the item, right? Do I have to do that while I'm enchanting it, or can you rename any item in the game? Yeah, no, it appeals to some gamers. It doesn't appeal to me. Let's say it that simply, I think. There we go. Cool. Man, they really let you just grab everything in here. Rename as you enchant. That's fine. Give me all your soul gems. So it seems like they're not super consistent on what's stealing and what isn't either. But I guess that's Bethesda. Find any more magic merchants? I think that's probably everybody.
You look a bit peaked. You sure you shouldn't be home in bed?
Shut up, peaked. Little trapdoor. Items are all connected to a character. Well, the ones, like when she complained about people taking her enchanting material or alchemy materials, like she must have been talking the ones that I just stole, and those weren't marked as stealing. Guessing it's just a reference thing. Have a disease. Oh, I actually do have a disease, my character does. Where'd it go? Man, fighting stuff is frustrating. It's much easier to just, or using melee weapons is frustrating. I'd rather just cast my spells. This just costs way more. Okay, I understand. Cast and then released. I see. Gotcha. Torchbug thorax. That's cool. Use that to make like a potion of light or something. I thought maybe that would give me bonus conjuration or something. That's pretty gnarly. That's the Elder Scrolls symbol. What's this doing down here? Alright, I'll have to come back here later. Hey. Almost got zombies in your basement. Oh, I thought that was the Elder Scrolls symbol. It's on the box for the game. Have we seen that in another game? Yeah, I wonder if those UI mods, if they can like mark what's alchemy ingredient. I can even tell what's like cooking, what's alchemy, and what's just flavor loot. See icon for Oblivion. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Not know that. So we are about at time for Skyrim today. Let me see if I can get somewhere that's rational, so I can kind of figure out where I'm going next time we play. Probably just warp to College of Winterhold and then walk around the back. Although maybe this takes me out to there. See if I can get out of here first. This might be a longer dungeon than I'm expecting. I don't know, my character looks way cooler now. Yeah, I haven't touched the timestamp spreadsheet since the hiatus, and I believe it draws from the game's progress spreadsheet, so that's cool. The fingers have different... Maybe I can put something on there later. That's super cool, though. Interacting doesn't seem to do anything yet. Maybe this is... I'm meant to come here later in the game. Yeah, it's probably because it draws from the game spreadsheet and not make changes to the game spreadsheet. Hey! I very much enjoy having cheaper destruction spells. What's a frostbite spider doing with a garnet? Okay, this should be a good stopping point. Although maybe not super good. It's okay, I'll figure it out in the future. Thanks, folks. That was Skyrim for today. We'll be back in a few minutes with Dead Cells for Leon's subblock. Right. As long as I'm the sole person suffering.